Welcome to your daily 49ers update. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Here is what's happening. It's not been a smooth year for the 49ers. They sit at 5-6. They're playing Buffalo on Sunday Night Football this week. Kyle Shanahan was asked a very frank question in his press conference. What are the vibes right now in the locker room, Kyle?
The vibe in our locker room is, exactly how you would think it'd be. We're upset with where we're at in our record, but we got a tight group and we play together. And I think if you live in the world online, it's whether you're dealing with our profession or your kids dealing with social issues in school. It's you're not going to be happy if you're dealing in a world online. And I've definitely coached long enough that I don't deal in that world. Only online I look at is usually movie stuff and rap battles and funny things that animals do. So it's good or bad. When you listen to the good stuff, like that'll mess you up more than anything. And then when you listen to the bad stuff, it'll crush you. So that's not why any of us do this. And you got to work with younger guys on that. I think it's harder just because of the world that they've been brought up in. But that's don't make someone else's reality your reality. You got to focus on what your job is and never get away from that.
The core of this team will always be loyal to Kyle Shanahan, the stars that have been here for a while. But I do wonder if some of the younger players on the team would grade Kyle the same way. Maybe we'll find out if they keep losing. What about you, Kyle Shanahan? How would you grade yourself this season?
That's up to you guys to grade me. I work as hard as I can to get a win that week, and we haven't won as much as I believe we should have. We've lost 3 games that I feel we were capable of winning and should have won. Those are the ones that are the toughest. In terms of grading myself, I'm not going to grade myself. I'm going to work as hard as I can, and I'm the same guy I am right now that I've always been. We got to overcome some things that we're in right now, and I believe we can overcome them, but we put ourselves in a tough bind, and that's why we got to be extremely good and successful here going forward to be able to overcome that stuff.
There's a large contingent of 49er fans would say the fact that Kyle is the same guy is exactly the problem with the team this year. I don't fall into that contingent, but there are many who do say that. One more from Kyle now. There could be some snow in the forecast. Do you have to change your game plan to account for that?
No, you got to have an idea of how the game's going to play out and how it's going to go, which you do in every situation. You have an idea of that if you have certain guys get hurt. You have an idea of that if the weather always changes. When you go into it and you hear that it could be the weather that it is, you take that in your mind a lot, understanding how the game can be. But you don't make a full game plan for that because I've listened to plenty of weather reports that change that day too. So you got to be ready for anything, just like you are with injuries, but we fully understand what the elements may be.
This game could get very, very ugly. Can we at least have it look pretty with some snowflakes, please? Give me something here. I'm grasping at straws. Before we go, I did want to update the injury report for you. It is incredibly lengthy, and there is some juicy news in this week's update. 7 players did not participate, although Christian McCaffrey was just resting. Aaron Banks, DNP, concussion. Nick Bosa, hip oblique. Jordan Elliott, concussion. Demetrius Flanagan-Foles, knee. Diamador Lenore, knee. Trent Williams, ankle. It got so bad with Trent Williams that he was actually on one of those little knee scooters making his way around the locker room. I think it's safe to say he's not going to play this week. Kevin Givens was limited with a groin. Renardo Green with a neck. Dre Greenlaw with an Achilles. That was his first practice back. Dominic Pooney, shoulder. And Brock Purdy, shoulder. Purdy did not throw in the open portion of practice. Apparently threw 2 short passes on the day, but that was all. Jacob Cowing and Mooney Ward did both participate in full. One player who isn't on the injury report is Fred Warner, who apparently has been playing on a fractured ankle since week 4 against the New England Patriots. Fred said he gets shot up with pain medication before every game and that he plans to continue playing on the fractured ankle. It's a good time to point out that he has only missed 1 game in his entire career since being drafted in 2018. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Thursday, Matt Barrow's most recent mailbag column in The Athletic. You can tell fans are starting to sense the season is slipping away because the mailbag questions get really deep and philosophical, but they are still worth your time. I'll drop a link in the description of this episode. One thing to watch, the health of Nick Bosa. he says he's actually getting better. Quote, still need to get better before I'm ready to go this week. So this week will be big, and I know a lot more in the next couple of days, but I'm feeling a lot better. One thing you might have missed, the 49ers added a new offensive lineman to the practice squad. Come on down, Cam Irving. He was actually the 19th overall pick in the 2015 NFL draft. He has bounced around the league a lot in his 10 years in the league. He most recently spent time on the Texans practice squad. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network wherever you get your audio podcasts. Like and subscribe to the 49ers Gold Standard YouTube channel as well. Click the bell for notifications on when we're live, which is every weekday after every Niners game and following all Niners breaking news. I'm Rob Stats Guerrero. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll talk tomorrow.